Okay, good morning all. Anyone unmute yourself and tell me, am I audible or not? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Thank you. Uh, okay. So, lots of students are there remaining. So, we'll wait for 5 minutes. Okay. Till that, I'll explain what we learned in the last lecture. So I'll share you my screen. Already I share my screen. Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Uh, Thank you. Okay. Okay. So in the last lecture, we have seen IGBT, right? So the advantages of BJT and advantages of MOSFET both are combined together and to make a very powerful and maybe useful device in power electronics that is called IGBT, insulated gate bipolar transistor. I have shared one video with you. I'll show that video today in this lecture, but that already we have seen. So whatever the advantages of IGBT, the advantage of IGBT is a high gain as well as a low on state drop or low on state voltage drop. That is one of the major advantages of IGBT that are combined with the some advantages of a MOSFET, like input impedance of a MOSFET is a very high, and there will be a no thermal runaway occurs in a MOSFET or a FET. So these are the two advantages of a FET, you can say MOSFET, that are combined together to form a new device which is developed in 1980s, that is called IGBT. Definitely IGBT having something less voltage handling capacity as compared to the MOSFET, but still IGBT is a good device, right? So that we have seen this one, that is voltage handling capacity is higher, uh, somewhat current gain is higher. One disadvantage as compared to the MOSFET, that is the switching speed. So by sacrificing the switching speed somewhat little, if we want to increase the switching speed, then we can use punch through MOSFET, right? In a non punch through IGBT. So in non punch through IGBT, the speed is somewhat less as compared to the MOSFET. So if you want to increase the speed, then we can use punch through IGBT, so that the speed of IGBT, which is equal to the speed of MOSFET, but at the same time, uh, on state voltage drop maybe increases. So that is again a disadvantage, but we can have a facility to use punch through or a non punch through. If we required high switching speed, we can use a punch through. If we required medium switching speed but low on state voltage drop, we can use a non punch through IGBT. Okay, so once again we'll see how many students are joined in the meeting. Okay, currently 15 students only, so remaining students are still not joined. Okay, 1 minute. I just give a message to the students. Okay. Mm. So students still So we will see next one, that is the symbol of a IGBT. Then it is basically a small power rating IGBT. It is equivalent circuit in which if you see at input side, you will see there will be a MOSFET, and at output side there will be a BJT. So current gain of BJT as well as onset voltage drop of BJT can be achieved with this configuration, and uh, the MOSFET is connected at the input side so that the input impedance of this device is larger. So that we have seen in the last lecture, construction of a MOSFET, that already we have seen. One video I have shared with you, that is also with you. If you see that video properly, you can understand each and everything. That is construction as well as the working of IGBT. Now, the difference between punch through IGBT and non-punch through IGBT, that is given here. I'll share these PPTs immediately after completing the lecture. So this is punch through IGBT and a non-punch through IGBT. So comparison between these two that we have already seen. In punch through IGBT, that is N plus layer or P plus heavily doped layer is added. So that is advantageous, so that the switching speed increases, but at the same time on state voltage drop uh, that is increases. So the non-punch through, the speed, switching speed is somewhat less than punch through, but the on-state voltage drop is also less. So that is a major advantage. One more thing I have discussed in the last lecture is called conductivity modulation. This is one of the most important concept in IGBT. So what is a conductivity modulation? So that we have explained with the help of this figure in the last lecture. So conductivity modulation, if you just remember the working of Zener diode, right? So it is called carrier multiplication that happens in a Zener diode. So here conductivity modulation, it means that this N minus layer is basically a lightly doped, high resistive layer, say, and because of low doping, the free charge carriers in N minus layers are in very less quantity. So what happens when we connect VCC and VGE to the MOSFET? Because of the application of VGE, the positive charges develop at the gate side. So that positive charges will attract the electrons which are present in this particular P region, right? So the whatever minority charge carrier electrons are present, that get attracted towards the metal gate, so that one inversion layer creates, right? So these electrons which are present in N plus layer will travel from emitter N plus then P to the N minus, right? So what happens? The number of electrons in N minus region increases. As you increase the value of VCC, the more number of electrons enter into the N plus through emitter, and these electrons cross this junction with the help of this inversion layer, and they enter into the N minus layer, right? So the conductivity of N minus layer increases. One more example of conductivity increases, if you see the first day video with which I share with you, pure silicon, right? And when we add impurities, what happens exactly, right? So conductivity of a pure silicon material is less. Even at zero temperature, it acts as an insulator, right? So if we in add some impurities like trivalent or pentavalent impurities, then the conductivity of a silicon, pure silicon, increases. So what is exactly that? Which is clearly explained in that video. If you see the video of a first day lecture, that is very good video. Second video, I shared two videos in my first lecture, sorry, in a first or second lecture, I think second lecture. So second video is one of the best video, in which it is clearly mentioned or explained that what is a pure silicon, what is happening if the impurities added, and so on. So when you add impurities, it means that free electrons added into the silicon so that the conductivity of that silicon increases. The same thing is happen in this N minus layer. When we increase the VCC, electrons from this negative terminal of battery will enter into the channel at N plus. So more number of electrons at N plus layer, that will reduces the depletion layer at junction J1, and electrons enter into the P through this inversion layer and then enter finally into the N minus. So if the free charge carriers increases at N minus layer, it means that we can say the conductivity increases, right? Now, second thing, the positive battery terminal is connected to the P plus, right? So because of that, the more number of holes get added into the P plus region, and these holes will definitely increases, which will reduce the depletion layer at junction J3, and then these holes cross the junction J3, enter into the N plus, and then finally enter into the N minus, right? So automatically the free holes get added in N minus, and from emitter side free electrons get added into the N minus. So from both sides free charge carriers enter into the N minus layer, which increases the conductivity of this N minus layer, is called as conductivity modulation. This is a very important. There will be a question in examination. What is a conductivity modulation? Explain how the conductivity modulation takes place in IGBT. So this type of questions may be asked in examination. If you see the last 2-3 year papers, you will see there will be at least one question on IGBT, and it may be a sometimes conductivity modulation. Explain what is a conductivity modulation in IGBT, or define conductivity modulation, explain in IGBT. So this type of question will be asked. So that we have already covered in last lecture. Even input output characteristics, input oblique transfer and output characteristics. So this is also explained very well in a diagram, but again I'll explain to you. I'll just check how many students are joined to the meeting. Very less students still, I think, have us problems. Okay. Okay, anyone unmute and tell me, am I audible? The screen is visible to you or not? Because from my side, I can see how many number of students are enter, at what time they are enter, etc. But it is very difficult for me to know. So anyone, Karan, am I
No
audible?
problem, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
okay, the sound is clear.
Clear, sir.
Okay, and my screen is also visible to you.
Yes.
Okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you. Okay, it's all right. So input characteristics and output characteristics, that we have everyone, everyone unmute yourself. Otherwise, I have option to mute everyone. So that is not a good option. So you can mute yourself. Okay, so this characteristics we have seen in the last lecture but not explained. So this is a diagram to plot the characteristics of IGBT. So this is called VG, VCC. This voltage is called as a VBE. This voltage is called as a VCE. So this particular graph, if you see, first you will see output characteristics, or you can say even input or transfer characteristics. So this input characteristics, if you see, it is very similar to the transfer characteristics of a MOSFET, as well as this is very similar to the diode characteristics. You just remember the diode characteristics, right, in a first quadrant. So as the voltage, that is breakdown voltage of a diode or breakover voltage of a diode, till that the current is very small or negligible, and after that voltage the current increases exponentially. It is again the same thing. If Vg increases, gate voltage increases, and if the value of Vg is beyond the threshold voltage, the current is 0. Now, what is the threshold value in IGBT? It is 4 to 10 volt. Already we have seen in a comparison table, right? If you see this table, the value of VGE, voltage between gate and emitter, it is 4 to 8 volt. It means that you should at least apply 4 volt, then and then only your device turns on. As it turns on, the current increases exponentially, right? So this is shown in a transfer characteristics, or we can say input characteristics of IGBT, right? It is very simple. As you increase the voltage greater than VGT, that is threshold voltage, your current increases. If the voltage is less than VGT, the current is 0 ideally, practically very small current flow through them. Just see the collector current, that is current in IGBT is called collector current, and in MOSFET it is called as a drain current. So small differences in notations, otherwise the shape of a graph is very similar. Definitely the values are different, but the shape, the nature of a graph is very similar to the MOSFET, or even input characteristics of diode, or VI characteristics of diode, we can say, right? Then output characteristics. So this particular figure is used to plot the input characteristics as well as output characteristics, right? So what is exactly input characteristics?